أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله تعالى على حبيبه محمد وآله وسلم. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our segment on Surah At-Tawba. Inshallah, today we will cover the 9th Ruku of Surah At-Tawba, verses 67 to 72. The previous Ruku ended on the note that those who make excuses and deny the truth, despite understanding what is required of them, because they wish to pursue their personal goals and selfish desires, they will receive punishment for their crimes. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the true meanings of the Quran by the grace of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. With this dua, let's begin the 9th Ruku of Surah At-Tawba. Verse 67. Al-Munafiquna wal-Munafiqatu ba'duhum min ba'd. يأمرون بالمنكر وينهون عن المعروف ويقبضون أيديهم نسوا الله فناسيهم إن المنافقين هم الفاسقون. The hypocrite men and hypocrite women are of one another. They enjoin what is wrong and forbid what is right, and close their hands. They have forgotten Allah, so He has forgotten them. Indeed, the hypocrites, it is they who are the defiantly disobedient. This verse describes both men and women who are hypocrites. There is no difference between them. Despite knowing the truth and understanding what Allah commands of them, they still choose to encourage evil, forbid what is good, and withhold from spending in the way of Allah. They have forgotten Allah because they have chosen to fulfill their own personal desires. The delusion of this worldly life attracts them so much that they have forgotten the fact that there is the hereafter, and they will be accountable for their deeds. As stated here, those who forget Allah, Allah also forgets them. And this is repeated throughout the Quran. It can be found in Surah As-Sajdah also in verse 14. Let's go on to verse 68. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الْمُنَافِقِينَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ وَالْكُفَّرَ نَارَ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا هِيَ حَسْبُهُمْ وَلَأَنَّهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. Allah has promised the hypocrite men and hypocrite women and the deniers the fire of hell, wherein they will abide. It is sufficient for them, and Allah has cursed them, and for them is an enduring punishment. Allah has cursed the hypocrite men and women, along with those who deny the truth. It is clearly stated in this verse that they will surely abide in the burning fire of hell for an indefinite period and suffer for their deeds as long as they stay in it. Let's go on to verse 69. كَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ كَانُوا أَشَدَّ مِنْكُمْ قُوَّةً وَأَكْثَرَ أَمْوَالًا وَأَوْلَادًا فَاسْتَمْتَعُوا بِخَلَقِهِمْ فَاسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِخَلَقِكُمْ كَمَا اسْتَمْتَعَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ بِخَلَقِهِمْ وَخُضْتُمْ كَالَّذِي خَاضُوا أُولَئِكَ حبطت أعمالهم في الدنيا والآخرة وأولئك هم الخاسرون. Like those before you, they were stronger than you in power and more abundant in wealth and children. They enjoyed their portion, and you have enjoyed your portion, as those before you enjoyed their portion. And you indulge like that in which they indulge. Those whose deeds have become worthless in this world and in the hereafter, and it is they who are the losers. بِخَلَقِهِمْ means portion. It's a portion that has been designated to you by law. خُضْتُمْ means indulge. To indulge in unproductive conversations or activities, and to lose focus. This verse refers to the hypocrites and the deniers of truth. They are no different than those who were like them before and have passed on from before them. They were in fact more powerful and had more wealth and children than they do. They also enjoyed the life of this world and spent their free time relaxing, just like they do now. Those deeds were worthless for them, just like these deeds are worthless now, because they are of no benefit in the hereafter, which everyone will face, and they will be recompensed for their deeds. We need to ask ourselves, do we fall in this category of people? This is a clear warning to not be lazy and waste the time that we have been given here in this life. We don't want to be at a loss, like those who have passed on before us. Let's go on to verse 70. Alam yatihim naba'ul lazina min qablihim qawmi Nuhin wa Adinwa Samuda wa qawmi Ibrahima wa ashabi Madyana wal mutafiqat atathum rasuluhum bil bayanati fama kana Allahu liyazlimahum walakin kanu anfusahum yazlimun. Has there not reached them the news of those before them, the people of Noah and Ad and Thamud, and the people of Abraham and the companions of Madian, and the towns overturned? Their messengers came to them with clear proofs, and Allah would never have wronged them, but they were wronging themselves. Al-Mutafiqati means overturned, to invert something and alter its orientation from its original dimension. Atathum means came. It means to come or to reach, to send and to receive something. This verse describes further those from the past nations that were given the chance to correct themselves and follow the straight path. Unfortunately, they chose to follow their personal desires, so they were punished. They brought it on to themselves, despite being given clear warnings from the messengers that came to them. Let's go on to verse 71. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ وَيُطِيعُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ أُولَئِكَ سَيَرْحَمُهُمُ اللَّهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. The believing men and believing women are allies of one another. They enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong, and establish salah and adopt the method of zakah, and obey Allah and His Messenger. Those, Allah will have mercy upon them. Indeed, Allah is honorable and wise. This verse describes the believing men and women who are allies of each other and deserving of Allah's mercy. They strictly order and inspire all that is good and forbid all that is bad. They establish a system of salah and zakah in their life. They wholeheartedly obey Allah and His Messenger, the Holy Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in all situations of their life. Let's go on to verse 72. وَعَدًا لَهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ومساكن طيبات في جنة عدن ورضوان من الله أكبر ذلك هو الفوز العظيم. Allah has promised the believing men and believing women gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide eternally, and pleasant dwellings in gardens of perpetual residence. But approval from Allah is greater. It is that which is the great attainment. Adnan means perpetual residence, a thing or condition that endures for an extended duration, or a location where it can maintain its long-lasting state. The Quran mentions Jannah, which means gardens, paired with this word 11 times. In this verse, Allah has promised the believing men and women many blessings, as stated here. Among these blessings, the greatest blessing is the approval of Allah, which is the greatest success. This concludes our segment on Ruku 9 of Surah At-Tawba. Let's briefly go over what we discussed. There is no difference between men and women who are hypocrites. Despite knowing the truth and understanding what Allah commands of them, they still choose to encourage evil, forbid what is good, and withhold from spending in the way of Allah. They have forgotten Allah, so Allah has forgotten them. They have distanced themselves from the mercy of Allah and will stay in the burning fire of hell. Stories of the past nations are there to remind us that those who were hypocrites and deniers of the truth were punished for their deeds. If our deeds are like those before us, then our end will also be like theirs. The believing men and women are allies to each other and deserving of Allah's mercy. They enjoin good and forbid evil. They establish a system of salah and zakah, and they wholeheartedly follow the commands of Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in all situations of their life. Allah approves of them and has promised them many blessings. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the Holy Quran and its true meanings in light of the life and guidance of Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. Thank you for joining us for this segment. Until next time. Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim. Allah speaks the truth, the exalted, the great. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.